Hi, my name is Kim Stagner, and I'm an academic advisor in the Academic Advising and Transfer Center. Today, Kimmy Walker, who's also an academic advisor, and I will address some common academic policies and procedures. So throughout this GEP 101 presentation, we will answer questions regarding advising. Our first question is, how do I declare my major? When deciding on a major, it's important to do research and to get that experience to find that perfect major. So some of the ways that you can do that is by 1, talking to an advisor. They can discuss the programs and the majors within that department. Also, you can check into departments. You can talk to department heads and look into the department websites. And you can also look into the Career Center. You can talk to a career resource specialist and also go to their website. Now, if you're still uncertain, we do have some undeclared advisors in the Academic Advising and Transfer Center who can help with exploring. In order to declare or change your major or minor, you can visit the Academic Advising and Transfer Center, which is located in University Hall, room 109, or you can email youadvise@missourastate.edu. If you're interested in a business minor, you can visit the Business Advisement Center in Glass 276. Once you declare your major, you're either automatically admitted into the program or you must satisfy certain major or minor specific requirements for that program. This may include specific class requirements, GPA requirements, grade requirements, portfolio, or an audition. So it is important to meet with your major advisor to see what those requirements consist of.
Hello, my name is Kimmy Walker. I'm going to be helping Kim go through some of these questions today. The first question I'm going to cover is, what else do I need to know about degree requirements? There are a few different types of degrees offered at Missouri State. You can see a full list here on the screen, but the most common are Bachelor of Art and Bachelor of Science. Some majors let you choose between Bachelor of Art and Science, and some are only offered as one type. It's a really good conversation to have with your advisor. Another thing to think about as you're choosing a major is whether it's comprehensive or non-comprehensive. Comprehensive means it can stand alone. You don't need another minor, a major, anything like that. A non-comprehensive major means you do need to choose either a minor or a second major to go along with it. In addition to your major, there are degree requirements that apply to all students. This includes earning at least 120 credit hours total, 40 of those hours being at the 300 or higher level. We call this upper division. Then students must also maintain a 2.0 GPA in every area. This includes your major, your minor, your Missouri State GPA, general education, and your overall GPA. Please keep in mind that even though this is a Missouri State requirement, your minor or major might require an even higher GPA to maintain that program.
So the next question is, how does the grading system work at Missouri State University? Throughout the semester, you will be able to see midterm grades and final grades. Midterm grades are grades that are assigned at the middle of the semester. I like to refer to them as a snapshot of your grade during that time. All 100 and 200 level courses are required to submit a midterm grade. It is up to a professor if they teach a class that's above a 200 level course if they want to submit a midterm grade. For final grades, these are grades that are finalized. They are recorded on your transcript, and these grades can be found online the Tuesday after finals. So your GPA is connected to your grades. So what is a GPA? First, your Missouri State GPA includes all classes taken at MSU. Your combined GPA include MSU grades along with transfer grades. A GPA is determined by a student's academic standing for graduation, scholastic honors, and quality of work. So where do you find your GPA? You can go to the degree audit, unofficial transcript, and advising notes. If you ever want to calculate your GPA, you can visit the Office of the Registrar's website for an online GPA calculator. So Missouri State University does use the plus-minus system. How does this work? The grades indicate the quality of your work. so the plus-minus system does provide a different measure of the student's work. The professor or instructor get to choose if they will use the plus-minus system, and this is indicated in their syllabus. It is important to keep in mind that each grade is different. So for example, when it comes to prerequisites, if a class requires a C to move forward to that class, a C- will not meet the same requirement. I did want to point out our grades and our point system. You can see here I've included all of the plus-minus grades along with their point value. You can see that they're all different, and our highest grade is an A and our lowest grade is an F.
Our next question is, what if my semester is less successful than I hoped? At the end of each semester, Missouri State determines a student's academic status. There are 3 options for this status. 1, good standing, which means all of your GPAs are above a 2.0. 2, academic probation. This is where your GPA has dropped below the 2.0 mark, either in your Missouri State GPA or your cumulative GPA. Then last, we have academic suspension. This is where a student on probation fails to earn a semester GPA of 2.0 or higher, or a student who earns a semester GPA of less than 1.0, resulting in the Missouri State or cumulative GPAs dropping below the 2.0 mark. So you might be wondering, what happens if I find myself on academic probation or suspension? For probation, we ask you to meet with an advisor, even if you've surpassed the 75-hour mark. You might also be ineligible for student activities or certain financial aid packages. It's a really good idea to check with both your organization and with financial aid to see what needs to happen. Then with suspension, we ask you to sit out for a little bit. If it's your first time being suspended, it's for a semester. After that, we ask you to sit out for a full academic year. When you have sat out for that allotted amount of time, we ask you to meet with the dean of your college to have a conversation about reinstatement. Please also know that these are safeguards for you. It's showing that your academic progress isn't satisfactory, and we want to help, and we don't want you to keep digging that hole deeper. But also know that if it's because of extenuating circumstances that you find yourself on academic suspension, we do have an appeals process for that. If you find yourself in that situation, reach out to your advisor immediately to figure out what steps need to be taken.
Our next question is, how many credit hours do I need for? Oftentimes, students do wonder about being full-time or part-time status. So in order to be full-time, you must take 12 credit hours or more for the fall and spring, 6 hours or more in the summer. For part-time status, 11 hours or fewer in the fall and spring, and 5 hours or fewer in the summer. You do want to keep in mind, anytime you go below full-time, you want to be cautious due to financial aid, insurance, and other areas as well. Here is a breakdown of our student classification. If a student has 0 to 29 hours completed, they're freshman. 30 to 59 hours completed, they're sophomore. 60 to 89 hours completed, junior level status. And finally, 90 plus hours completed, they would be seniors.
Our last question is, what if a class doesn't go as planned? If you're finding that you need to drop a class, you have a couple options. First, if it's before the semester or the first week of classes, we have a change of schedule period. This allows you to drop classes with 100% refund and still add classes to your schedule. Those that are dropped are not recorded on your transcript. We do recommend you make these decisions with your academic advisor. If it's later on in the semester and you need to drop a class, you can do so up to a certain point. To find your personalized drop deadline, please visit My Missouri State under the Registration tab and find Refund and Drop Deadlines. When dropping a class, we do want you to talk to your instructor, talk to your academic advisor, and check in on your financial aid package. Please also know if you drop a class during this time, you will receive a W on your transcript, which indicates that you withdrew from the class. There's a chance you find yourself needing to repeat a class, so let's talk about that policy as well. Missouri State's policy is that you can repeat a class as many times as you need. We will show all of your grades on your transcript, but will only include the most recent grade in your GPA calculations. This also applies to transfer credit that you bring in to Missouri State. You do want to keep in mind that this is a Missouri state policy. Graduate and professional schools might calculate your GPA differently. Your major may also have some stipulations on how many times you can repeat a class. You may also want to check in with financial aid. They may have some policies about how many times you can repeat a class while receiving aid as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you found this interesting and helpful, especially since these are our most common questions about policy. If you find yourself having more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your academic advisor or reach out to us in the Academic Advising and Transfer Center. Thanks again.